Good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is. Let's just give you a little pan around. Look at this. And we're about to head off. There we are, we're about to head off on a little morning jog. Let's get the sun in my eyes and not in your eyes. And what I hope this is, it's a bit of a start to a vlog and some ideas and thoughts that I might have about what's been going on in triathlon and sport in general, about what's coming up on the channel, how training is going for me in particular, and thoughts that I might have about how my training adapts through the year. And here we are in the UK. I'm videoing this on a Thursday. It's a beautiful morning, but we've had some pretty grotty weather all round and it's pretty chilly. So I'm just off for what I would call a tick over run, a base type run, and I'll be back with you in about an hour to just discuss a few things. Wow, that was awesome. Behind those trees back there, there's a reservoir. From my back gate around the reservoir and back to here is just under 8 miles. That's not, don't get me wrong, that's not the run I've just done. But over the dam wall, which is almost directly through those trees, there's a whole host of loops that you can do with bridleways that go across fields, through woods. You can do loops of woods. Oh, it's fantastic, and it's great for mountain biking as well. And you can bring them back to the reservoir at all sorts of different points and then run back around the reservoir either way. So I've just done quite a short base run, but it's warm for a cold day. That sun is low and it's warm. So 4.5 miles. And when I've had a quick drink, we'll just have a quick look and we'll sit down at the desk. Right, I've got a jacket on, I'm a bit warmer, and I've stopped sweating like I don't know what. Tempted to be a little bit rude there, but I can't be. So there, that run wasn't quite as planned. My Garmin watch was telling me do a base run, and I don't follow my Garmin watch really in terms of fitness and training suggestions. But it was saying do a base run, and when it says do a base run, it gave me a pace to do. What I can tell you is I was more than a minute quicker than that pace. Was I running to heart rate? No, I wasn't. I just wanted to run nicely, but I'm really bad at that. I get quicker and quicker. That wasn't a zone 2 run. And if you take a look at my heart rate details here, whew, yeah, okay, it was pretty much a threshold run. So, okay, run done, felt good. I'm going to come back to training and how the week's gone in a moment, but I want to start this session properly with value for money, and in particular Ironman. And it's a bit on the back of Joe Skipper's frustrations over the cost of Kona, and it's well documented how his accommodation was cancelled. It came back up at a hugely inflated price, but also the cost of entering an Ironman somewhere, travel, accommodation, just to qualify, then the cost of entering Kona, $1,000 plus, and then the other associated costs of travel and accommodation, etc. And and it's not new, the whole Ironman value for money type thing. And to be fair, some things are okay. The Ozio M9 Bag, which they've got an Ironman version of, it's a really great bag actually, was the same price in the Expo at Maastricht when I did the Ironman there as it is on the Ozio, whichever you want to call it, website. So there's no pumping up of money there. Just take a look on my screen now, buying a t-shirt from the Ironman store. So on the back of Joe Skipper's recent rant, that's probably too strong, frustration over cost of Ironman, in particular thinking about Kona and accommodation, but just the whole cost of actually just for an amateur competing in Kona, having to pay to do an event to qualify, then the $1,000+ US to enter Kona, etc., etc., etc. I'm looking at another element. I'm looking at the Ironman store here, Ironman Europe. I decide I want to buy a t-shirt, Compress Sport, €55 for a t-shirt, and that's the US dollars, pounds. It's all about the same nowadays. Let's face it. But that is a lot of money for a t-shirt.
Okay, so I bite the bullet. I want to show people I've done it. I choose my size, I add it to my cart, and I might have to pay a bit of postage, but flipping heck, okay, not too much. So I go straight to checkout, and wow, I'm going to have to scroll up, and there we have €2 processing fee. This is electronic. I'm pressing a button. I'm pressing the button. And then shipping, €50. I'm now looking at €107. Wow. To buy a t-shirt from Ironman. Come on.
Now a little bit about road safety. We're heading into the winter in the UK now. The sun's pretty low. It's hard for us to see sometimes when we're on our bike. It's hard for drivers to see us. The roads are getting slippery, they're getting wet. We're getting through autumn with leaves on the road. And now's the time that we really start moving away from the road, because the roads are dangerous. And personally, yes, turbo, some people love the turbo. I get quite bored on the turbo. It serves its purpose. And there are elements that I do enjoy and focus, and a lot of it is about variety and shifting focus. But I move across to the mountain bike for a lot of winter training, because I'm off the road, I'm hitting tracks, and you can actually work for a shorter period and work really, really hard. And you'll see that when I just pop through what I've done this week, how the mountain bike has sort of come into my winter training for a bit of variety. I really just want to say, please be careful out there. Very sadly, one of my lane buddies, there were 4 of us in our swim lane of swim squads on a Monday morning. 2 months ago, one of my lane buddies, very experienced triathlete, she's I think early 50s, just qualified for the Ironman 70.3 World Championships and had just completed escape from Alcatraz. So very experienced, hit from behind by a van and killed outright. It is just scary out there, and I could not believe this had happened to her. It was just astonishing. And then we see Kat Matthews came second in St George in the World Championships there for Ironman. She's a member of the same tri club, I guess you call it, that I am. And she was turned into by a car driver whilst training in Texas. Multiple small fractures of the cranium. There's vertebrae. There's other things. And hopefully, touch wood, fingers crossed, she's going to be fine. But she's out of Kona. And this is happening to the very best of people who are quality people with lots of experience. Please, please be careful out there. And I'm going to just point you in the description down below. I've put a link to his own YouTube site. Archie Hamilton Racing. Archie's a huge proponent of safety on the roads, but he's a driver and he races cars. But what he does is he goes out with the Surrey police, with their road policing unit, highlighting things and poor driving and just promoting the whole road safety, and he's doing a fantastic job. So if you're bored or looking for something to do, a little bit of interest, just have a look at some of his videos. Quite interesting, some of the things that he comes up with. So let's get back to how the week's gone. If I start from Sunday, so Sunday was a mountain biking day. Yes, Sunday. I went out across the back behind the reservoir and biked away a fair bit. And there's a little loop I've got there that goes down through some woods, comes back round, goes up on a bit of road, across and down. And each loop's about 0.65 of a mile. It's brilliant because each sort of main length of the loop is between 1% and 2% up or downhill. And what I did was I did 10 clockwise loops, so I was slightly downhill on the single track through the woods, and that was just fantastic fun, and then pushed it uphill on the road. And then I did 10 loops the other way around, where the coming down the road was a bit of recovery, and I worked hard on the single track going up. So 20 loops, 10 each way, and then cycled back. The whole thing took me just a little over an hour, and it was really good. It was fun, hard work. So that was Sunday. Monday morning, swim squads. I have a great coach there, Seamus Bennett. Big shout out to him. He's part of the Swim Smooth setup. It was hard work, the big hard work now in the UK. I'm up at 5 for this. It's pitch black. It's about half an hour away. I get to the leisure centre where the pool is. It's still pitch black, and get into the water. But a great session. So that was really Monday. Didn't do anything else on Monday. Tuesday was a bit of a rest day. Part of my work, I'm coaching a lot of sport. Tuesday afternoon, I'm coaching rugby, and I'm often refereeing practice games and things. I'm pretty active, so Tuesday was an active rest day. Wednesday was yesterday. So I started with a swim in a local pool, literally just across the road. Wow, what a pool. I have a love-hate relationship with this pool. It's 38 metres long, but not only is it 38 metres long, it has what I call the swim jets, but it's the circulation jets are at one end at the shallow, and they point down the pool, and they're pretty powerful. They are pretty powerful, and the exit grate is at the bottom of the deep end. So what you have is you have a flow with you one way and against you coming back. So there's pros and cons of the 38 metres. You can't really step into your 25 metre pool sets and things, but you are doing more swimming, less turns, which has its advantages. But boy, when I work with the Swim Smooth system, and they give you a score on the things on the sets that you do, and there's a balance score. How balanced are you in your swimming? Which obviously goes out of line when you do an effort as part of. So if you're doing a 150 and you're doing an effort in the first 50, and then you do it again, you repeat second 50 effort, then third 50 effort, it's going to show that as a low flow. A really good flow is a score of 100. A really bad flow is a score of 0. Just take a look at what my flow score, for want of a better term, was from Wednesday morning. It's dire. And what you've got is you've got some drills in the red where it's given me 100% because the drills were 616 with fins going with the flow, and then swim back with the fins on front crawl. So obviously a lot more powerful, but I was hitting the same time coming back as I was on the concentrating on the drill and technique going downstream. The minute I got into a set where I was swimming up and down the pool, concentrating on whatever I was concentrating on then, whether it was a bit of stretch, whether it was catch and pull, whatever it was, I'm getting a score of 0 because of the massive difference in the time. So yeah, love-hate relationship with that pool. But then in the afternoon, I went mountain biking again, hit a cross-country loop on a local bike park that we've got, and then had some fun after that, hitting some jumps and some of the downhill runs. So that was Wednesday, and then this morning you've seen the run that I've gone on. That sort of leads me on to what's coming up. We've got some reviews, obviously we've got some great reviews and stuff that I've been working on for a little while now, getting ready. So we've got that Ozio M9 sports bag. We've got some Hoka recovery shoes, love them to bits. A couple of cycling backpacks from Evoc, finished training snorkel, and the list goes on. So all these are in the pipeline, they're being used at the moment, and some of the videos are pretty much ready to get up and running. So all it remains for me to do is to thank you. I'll put a couple of videos up at the end. I ran this morning in my Speedgoat 5, so I'll put the review of the Speedgoat 5s up there. And my regret of this morning is I didn't have sunglasses on, so I'll put up at the top as well the review of my the Glorify Unbreakable sunglasses, which I've done recently. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. Something a bit different, not a straight review, a few of my thoughts, and I hope to do this quite consistently once a week over the coming weeks. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, well, you know the score by now, little round picture down there. And just to remember, those two videos, the Speedgoat 5 up there and the Glorify sunglasses up there. See you again soon.